A very, very good evening, I think. I wish we didn't have to be here, but we do, and we know we do. I don't think any of us dared to dream that tonight we could be just days away from the last remaining hostages in Gaza being freed and home with their families, but we can dare to dream now. But whatever happens in the next few days, weeks, months, or even years in the Middle East, we need to deal with what is happening right now, right here in Britain as well. Because even if a full ceasefire is declared, the hostages return and the war in Gaza ends, the battles on our own streets will just carry on. The never-ending marches by the pro-Palestinian activists won't just suddenly stop. They've already said they will go ahead on Saturday with no end in sight. The threats to Jewish school children won't stop. The intimidation of Jewish students won't stop. The attacks on Jewish businesses won't stop. They won't go away. And we can never be sure there won't be another deadly terror attack on Jewish worshippers in a synagogue. And we all know why. Because none of this is actually about the people of Gaza. Because the organizations and the people behind these things and doing these things, cheering them on, aren't pro-Palestine. They aren't pro-anything. They're anti-Israel and, yes, anti-Jew. And their reaction to last week's horrific terror attack by an Islamist on the Manchester synagogue, still so difficult to work out what a man called Jihad could possibly have been motivated by. How do the police work this stuff out? But their reaction to that terror attack on the Manchester synagogue told us everything we needed to know. They said the quiet bit out loud. Instead of grieving like the rest of us, instead of being horrified like normal people with normal hearts, they danced in the streets and waved flags in railway stations. And their reaction to the past 24 hours to the Trump peace plan being agreed, well, phase one only, has given the game away even more. They don't want peace. They want war on Israel. They want war on the West, and they won't want war on Jews. But don't worry, I'm not a Jew, but they're coming for all of us eventually. And why do they think they can be so unashamed, so open about this on our streets, with their swastika-adorned Stars of David, with their celebration of the October 7th terror attack and last week's synagogue attack? Because of the man who lives in that street there. Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister of this country, a country where large mobs are allowed to chant for globalising the Intifada and from the river to the sea, and the police just shrug, do nothing, even though the only meaning of those words is the call for Jews to be massacred. Where Jewish students at our universities are hounded by pro-Palestinian protesters in their mosques and cafes on their own campuses. Where Jewish children are told, my area in North London, don't wear your kippah, don't wear your school blazer in case you might get attacked on your way to school. Where every single synagogue in this country in the 21st century has to have security guards outside. Where an NHS doctor can post celebrations of the worst massacre of Jews since the Holocaust on her social media openly, and the General Medical Council just call it free speech. Where men drive through North London carrying Palestinian flags and shout for Jewish wives and daughters to be raped, and the CPS don't even bother to charge them with a crime. A recent Campaign Against Antisemitism survey found that 1 in 5 Britons now holds anti-Semitic views. It is more than that, but it's double what it was just 4 years ago. Almost a fifth of young people think the Hamas attack on October the 7th was justified. Where did they learn to think like that? Was it at school? Was it at university? Was it online? Was it watching the BBC? Yes. Was it listening to MPs in our own parliament spout lies? Keir Starmer promised last week to do whatever it takes to keep the Jewish community safe. But talk is cheap, and his words, I'm afraid, have been proved to be worth nothing. How can we believe a man who rewards the October the 7th terrorists with recognition of a Palestinian state without even asking Hamas to release their hostages first? When British Jews no longer feel safe on our street, it's because they are no longer safe on our streets. And that, Prime Minister, is on you. Shame on you. And the last Prime Minister too. They talk the talk, but they do nothing while the scourge of anti-Semitism has been allowed to run rampant on our streets. History tells us that in every country, in every civilization, at every time in history, a rise in the hatred of Jews is the canary in the coal mine. It's the big, flashing red neon sign telling us that something is going horribly wrong in the heart of our society. I can see it. You can see it. So many good people of all faiths and none in this country can see it. Yet this Prime Minister, many of his own MPs, many MPs in other parties, much of our media, our university academics, the police, the Crown Prosecution Service and the judiciary appear to be deaf, dumb and blind to what's going on. They're not stupid. They're not stupid. We cannot go on like this. The Prime Minister cannot allow this to go on like this. And not just for the Jewish community, but for every decent person in this country. Words matter, yes, but it's action that counts in the end. Prime Minister, it's long past time to act. Thank you.
It's 2025. America's debt is over $37 trillion, and the dollar just had its worst crash since 1973. That puts your savings and your family's future at risk. That's why we trust Alpha Omega Gold, a company that stands unapologetically with Israel and supports Stand Tall Israel. Visit ao.gold/stand to claim your free precious metals wayfinder guide or call 1-855-426-4653 today. Protect your future before it's too late.